Welcome back to Back Talks of Football, and Belgium have been held off by Iran in their second game of the FIFA World Cup 2026, and they are yet to win a game in the World Cup. So let's go ahead and talk about this game. If you are a Belgium fan and if you are a Belgian player or anybody who supports Belgium, you really have to be concerned with with the way the things are going. If I'm being very honest with you, they drew their first game against Egypt, and they were not that good in that game as well. I felt like they were the second best team. I thought Egypt were really, really good in that game, and I felt that Egypt deserved to win that game, and not by that much, but I still felt they were like a 60-40 difference in that game. And today as well, they had the Iranian team under a lot of pressure. They had a lot of possession as well, but the amount of chances that they created, I think, especially in that first period of the game, they were not really threatening chances. If I'm being very honest with you. Of course, everybody's going to talk about Ali Reza Brahimov. His performances, the amount of saves that he made was very, very crucial to Iran. And I'm not taking anything away from Ali Reza. As I said, he had a brilliant performance. Whenever he had to make a save, he made it. And he stepped up massively for Iran. And he was is the crucial reason that Iran did not lose that game. Again, as I said, I'm not taking anything away from it. But the fact is, the Belgium, they really did not create that many threatening chances. I think out of the many chances that they created, legitimately there were like two or three that were really, really good, where the saves were really, really exceptional. Apart from that, you would expect any goalkeeper in the world who is playing at this level to make those saves. And if I'm a Belgian fan, I have to be concerned about that. That you had about 60% of possession before the red card, and throughout the game. Before the red card, you had like about 70% possession throughout the game, and the chances you are creating were not really threatening. The crosses that were coming into the game, the Iran into the box, the Iranian defenders were clearing them without any hesitation. They really did not have to worry about that. The cutbacks, the movement, everything, like it was, what's the word I want to use, it was quite predictable. And like the Iranians knew what Belgians were trying to do, and they really did not have to move that much muscle, to try to stop them, or try to make sure that they don't concede. I think it was the planning was not that good. The thinking, the creativity was not there, and it is bizarre to say that when you have players like Kevin De Bruyne, all of Leonardo Trossard, and all of those guys on the field, and you're saying that there was no creativity, like there was no inspiration, and the inspiration did not come, from the Belgian players. It did not matter who they had up front. It did not matter who they had in midfield. It was not coming. It was lacking. It felt like they ran out of the ideas after like first 15-20 minutes. After that, they really did not know what they had to do. They had the ball. They were consistently, they put Iran under pressure, because the game was being played in Iran's half, and the only time it went away was when Iran had a chance to hit them on the counter attack, which they were quite successful. Sorry, I mean, and the only team that put the ball in the back of the net was Iran. A clever free kick practice that they made. They had done a set piece routine. They ended up scoring. It was called offside. I think Belgium are very, very lucky that it got called offside, because as I said, they were the only team that felt like might end up scoring. It was Iran, and this is bizarre to say, because Belgium had so much of the ball, but they were not really able to score. That they ended up getting a red card. Dan Lloyd, gets sent off, rightfully so. You cannot really question about that. And they had to play the next 20 minutes with 10 men, and still they had so much of the ball. I think this is where I'm going to criticize Iran, but we'll still talk about Belgium first. That they still had a lot of ball, and they were still not really able to make any difference with that. If I'm being very honest, I'm really, really disappointed with Belgium. You would have expected in this group that they were the clear favorites to top the group, even though Egypt have a good score. Iran and New Zealand in that score. You expect all of these three teams against Belgium. You expect Belgium to win the group quite comfortably, but it has not happened. And today again, it is proving that the aging squad, the signs are showing. They have not really been able to bring up the players that can elevate their game. They were really poor against Egypt, if I'm being very honest. And today again, I'm not going to sit here and say that they were spectacular, because they were not. They really did not have that many ideas to penetrate Iran. You can have as much of the ball as you want, but if you're not going to do anything with it, it doesn't really matter. And I think Iran were quite happy with letting Belgium have the ball. They had that much belief in themselves that they are going to be able to get the ball away whenever it comes, and they are not going to concede, and that's what happened. And again, I'm going to say Belgium's Belgium, they really did not create that many threatening chances to put the Iranians under that much pressure. Like after seven failed attempts, there would come a one good chance, and I think, as I said, out of the many chances that they created, maybe two or three were really good, and that got dealt with by the goalkeeper and the defenders. Iran, on the other hand, I think they would be really happy. They could be a bit disappointed because they had a man advantage for about 25 minutes, where they should have been more braver. I personally felt they should have taken more chances during that period to go ahead and try to get a win, because if you win this game and you draw your next game, if you win this game, sorry, there's a big chance that you qualify for the next round. That could have been decided, if I'm being very honest with you, with with the stuff that is happening. You would have been on 4 points the next game against Egypt, and then there was a big possibility that Iran could have qualified, but it has not happened. And I think they are going to be quite disappointed about it. I think their game plan was quite simple. They're going to sit back. They're going to let Belgium have the ball. They're going to absorb the pressure, and then they're going to try to hit them on the counter attack. They're going to try to score on set pieces, and it worked well for them. They defended really well whenever it mattered. I criticize Belgium, but that's not Iran's problem. They have to get rid of the balls that come in the box. It doesn't matter whether the cross is really good or it's really poor. They have to do that. And I think they were all the defense was very attentive throughout the game. Ali Raza, as I said before, I think he had a great game. He made crucial three or big saves when it really mattered. He made some normal saves as well, but when it really mattered, when the game was under pressure, that double save, especially the one in the start of the second half, where he makes one big save and then he literally has to parry it away, and you see the attacker coming. I think that was a really a big moment of the game, and he saves it. And after like 5 or 7 minutes, Belgium got shown a red card, so that would have been a decisive moment in that game, and it turned out to a big moment. So full props and credit to Ali Raza. I think the entire defense was really good. But the problem, again, as I said, I'm going to criticize Iran for that. I think the manager should have brought on the striker that he brought on around the 80-minute mark. The moment the red card, gets in, you bring in your attack. You have about 25 minutes to go. Change the formation, bring in the striker, try to win that game. But I think they did not do that, and when he brought the striker, if I'm not wrong, but just 10 minutes remaining, I think that was a big a mistake in my opinion. There was a big chance to go ahead and take the game to Belgium, and Belgium, when they got the red card, you saw they changed their formation, and they sat deep. They sort of felt like Iran are going to attack us, and the first 5 minutes of after the red card, they sat back and they defended, but they realized that Iran are not really coming up to us, and they're not taking they're not attacking us. So then Belgium came out, and they again had the possession, and Iran, for some weird reason, even though they had a man advantage, they really did not take advantage of that, and they still sat back. And for some weird reason, they were really happy with a draw. I think they have seen the dynamics of the group, and they still think that despite getting 3 points, that they might end up somehow qualifying for the next round. They still can do that. There's no denying that, but I would still would say that they should have win this game, and almost guarantee themselves a place in the next round, but it has not happened. I would say it's a massive result for Iran, no matter what happens, and it's a disappointing result for Belgium, and the pressure is going to be on them. Now you have Egypt versus New Zealand. Still no win in this group. 3 games have been played, and all 3 of them have been draws, so that Egypt-New Zealand game becomes even more. If either one of those teams win that game, they have automatically, in my opinion, qualified for the next round. So it is going to be massive game at that one. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, Iran's performance, Belgium's performance, and who do you think is going to qualify for the next round from this group. Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 600 subscribers before the end of the World Cup. 15 subscribers remaining, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.